without change, you're not going to be able to get anywhere. You know, everybody's not going to accept the change that you guys are going to have to make once you leave out this facility, to stay out of this facility. Change is everything. You got, when you get back home, you know, certain friends you're going to have to not deal with, because the same friends that you were dealing with that got you in the situation you're in now. You know, so you got to be accepted to change. Change is everything at this point in your life right now. If you're trying to move forward in your life and to stay out of here and get somewhere in life, you're going to have to change. If not, you're just going to be back in here for the rest of your life or in the grave. You know, in my situation, I almost met death. I've been shot in the head close range. Point blank range with 38. God was looking over me. That's how I'm here today to be able to speak to you guys. I got 21, had to get 21 staples in my head. Especially had to fly away from another country over to America to be able to see, was it able for him, would it hurt me to take the bullet out of my head, or they would have to keep the bullet in my head. God was looking over me so much to where I was able to remove the bullet out of my head. I'm here right now today to talk to y'all. I was partially paralyzed on my left side. You know, this side I'm happy, this side couldn't even move this side. It took me almost, actually I rehabilitated pretty fast. It took me like almost 2 months to rehabilitate, to gain my full mobility on my left side of my body, because I got shot on the right side of my head. And it wasn't even meant for me. It's just an area I was hanging around in the wrong place at the wrong time. Even though I was a guy out there doing a lot of wrong, but it wasn't even meant for me. But even that happened, I still didn't make a change. I was still out there doing wrong. Near-death experience and still doing wrong. Mama always telling me, you don't need to be doing this, you don't need to be hanging with this person, that person. But no, you know what I was addicted to? Who know what addiction is? You guys know what addiction is, right? I was addicted. I wasn't addicted to alcohol or drugs. AA couldn't help me. I was addicted to the money, the streets. I was addicted to money. I was making a lot of money when I was y'all age. A lot of money. That's what I was addicted to, money. The money kept me, you know, out here, and I had a kid at age 16, no Pampers and milk. Milk is real high. That's why you guys need to respect your parents. You need to appreciate your parents. Every day when you get up, you tell your mom and your dad, sister, brother, whoever raised you, that you love. You need to tell them that, because they're going to be here today and gone tomorrow. Because to raise a kid at the age I was, I had to get out there and do something. I had to hustle. I couldn't depend on my mama to help me, because I was still a kid. I grew up too fast. I didn't have a life as a kid coming up, because I was in the streets. And I chose that road. You know, my father, I didn't have a father in my life. My father was young. My father just came home. You know how long he was in prison? 29 and a half years. Before I turned 2, he was gone. So I didn't have a father. All I had was a mother, grandmother, and other family members that loved me, that raised me. But then I went to the streets, so the streets raised me out of that. And I became a man. Became a man with the wrong guys. With people I thought was all right with, telling me this, telling me that. That wasn't what I wouldn't want. That's what I didn't want. I'm getting kind of nervous. Just bear with me. Because I get emotional when I'm speaking about this. Because I'm trying to touch somebody. I don't have to change everybody. But one person in this crowd, either you guys, one of the officers, or even one of the parents that's out there, or the students from the college, somebody get this. We're not here trying to change the world. We just want to change one person. And I know I did my job like that. Because for me, God speaks to me to speak to you guys. And I got to do all this speaking, what I got to do in a few minutes. I don't have all day, because I can go all day. But I'm just telling you guys, got to be willing to accept change in your life. Change is everything right now. You need change. Like I was saying, addiction. My addiction was that. My addiction wasn't drugs and alcohol. It was money. Money, trade school. So I learned to trade. I'm a brick mason, brick and block mason. And right now I'm finna get in school to be academic refrigeration and a pipe fitter. Because I want to open my own business so I'll be able to hire guys like you, to keep you guys from doing the wrong thing, doing something positive. See, I was a hands-on man. I wasn't too much into the books. I can read the book, but I'm for it. If I see something, then I can just basically just do the same thing you just did with my hand. So I went into trade school. Because you go to school and they teach you hands-on. You getting paid while you're going to school. So I was successful in that. And ended up obtaining my license. And so that's what I do for a living. Then I come around and I speak to kids, adults, or whoever. We don't do this for money. We do this because we love to do this. We don't get paid for this. Nobody pay us to travel and all. No, we do this on our own dollar. We work this in our own budget. But it's all helping y'all because we love to do what we do right here today. But you got to be accepted to change. If you guys are not willing to change when you get back home, I'm sorry to say, but you'll be right back here. I know some of the officers tell you that every day. Because I know there's some hard heads in here don't want to get up 3 in the morning doing the cables and running and exercising and doing all that. Y'all don't want to do that. Y'all not used to that. Used to sleeping all day. Even your parents tell you that when you probably was home. You need to get up and go to school. You don't want to go to school. You probably act like you're going to school, but you actually going to your friend's house, going to do something you ain't got no business doing. So learn to respect your parents and just find out what you want to do in life. So when you get out here, actually you had enough time to really figure it out. If you really accepted the change, you should know when I leave out here, this is what I'm going to do. You're going to go back to school, do something constructive. You're going to go back to doing the same thing. And your parents probably not going to deal with it. They're probably going to put you out. Because I know somebody close to me, my auntie put him out. But it helped. Sometimes, as parents, don't speak to parents out there, sometimes, as a parent, you got to love. Sometimes, when you love someone, you got to do what you don't want to do. Let them go. Let God deal with it. Because how you get lemonade? You have to squeeze the juice out of lemon. Sometimes it takes certain situations in order for you to run towards a higher calling. I don't care what it is. It can be Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, whatever you choose that's going to change you. I'm all for it. Because it's all the same God at the end of the day. There's only one God. We all God's children. That's why I'm telling you, I'm speaking from him through me. He's speaking through me to y'all guys. That's my father. The biggest father in the world. A great man. He saved me. I had a near-death experience. He saved me. And after that, I was still doing the same thing. Then I ended up getting shot 2 more times. Leg and arm. Because I was still out there in the streets doing what I shouldn't have been doing. But what did change me, one day I just had an ultimatum. I just woke up one day and just said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm finished with it. And after I got out of prison, I still was kind of doing the same thing. Doing what I wish they could take. But I can't do it for them because I ain't got no money to take care of their kids and all that. So I can't tell them, just leave it alone. But they know when I come around, we speaking on something positive. We ain't talking about that street because I ain't into that. If you got all that negative energy, don't get in my car and I don't want you to ride with you. Don't even come around. If you ain't going to respect my boundaries. You got to respect my boundaries. Because I'm a changed man. And change will take you far. You can have all those nice things without doing the wrong thing. I have a nice home. Working on my second nice home. I got property now. When I was getting all that money, I wasn't thinking about that because it was coming so fast. I wasn't thinking. I was lost. I was lost in the world. But now I'm focused. So you guys need to accept the change, man. I respect the ones that love you. I
Wayne State, Nebraska. I was redshirted. How many athletes in the room today? No athletes? Redshirted means that you're not going to be able to play your first year in college. That was tough for me. Like I said, both of us from Miami, Florida. I mean, born and raised in Miami, is one of the toughest cities that you see on the first 48. How many people watch the first 48? So you know how tough it is. However, as I stand before you, I'm not here to brag about where I come from or glorify where I come from. However, letting you guys know that it was tough. And me growing up in Miami, Florida, helped structure who I am today. Because I had to grow up fast as well. But like I said, I enjoyed my childhood. Every summer I went to Disney World. You know, I did chores around the home, had great grades. So I was never a bad kid. But what we all have to understand is in life, we all have a good side and a bad side. Whichever side you feed the most, that's what people gonna see. So for 17 years, I fed the good side. I came home from school, I had to do my chores, do my homework, call my mom, let them know I'm finished, then I could go outside, play football, hang with my friends, do whatever. I think I graduated 46 or 34 in my class, my senior class, out of 700-800 people. Straight A, B student. So I'm very intelligent. And as we would like to call it in the younger age today, swag. I always had swag. I always had women. So I mean, I enjoyed my life. Never was flashy, flamboyant, very respectful, very humble, because that's what I was taught. I grew up on the old back. I'm 36 years old. I have an 18-year-old daughter right now as well. But what I want to say is when I was sitting in that room 220, I think, or 2203, I think, was my room. I had a dream, I had a vision. And one day, I wanted to go back to college and play football. Because I told you I went to Wayne State College in Nebraska. And then I came home, and who know what adversity means? You guys know read? What y'all was doing in the room? Y'all sit in the room like all day? And only come out on Sunday, like after church or something? Who the house man come out of the mouth? Do that stuff. But anyway, sometimes adversity come at unopportune times in your life where you least expect. Who remember Hurricane Andrew in 1993 that came through Miami? At that particular time, I had dreams to go to University of Miami. Everything was looking good. But then that fall, when Hurricane Andrew came, my football career in high school was cut short. Instead of having 10 games, we ended up having 6 games. So now the recruiters stopped coming. They're not interested in you anymore. And at the end of the year,